Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel, guys. Today I am going to make a new video.
And in the next 15 minutes, I will guide you through the need, types, steps, benefits, and challenges of expanding food industry plants. Food industries often reach a point where their existing facilities are not enough. Expansion becomes necessary for several reasons. First, consumer demand is increasing rapidly due to population growth and changing lifestyles. Second, companies may wish to introduce new product lines, like a biscuit company starting a cake line. Third, larger plants reduce cost per unit, which improves competitiveness. Fourth, expansion may be required to meet new government safety and quality regulations. And finally, expansion helps industries remain ahead of competitors. There are three major types of plant expansion in the food industry. The first is horizontal expansion. Here, companies add more units at the same level. For example, a dairy plant adding a new yogurt line alongside its existing milk line. The second is vertical expansion. This involves adding processes either upstream or downstream. For instance, a biscuit plant may install its own flour mill to reduce dependency on suppliers, or it may build a packaging plant downstream. The third is diversification. This means entering into entirely new product categories. For example, a beverage company starting to produce ready-to-eat snacks. Plant expansion requires systematic planning. The first step is demand analysis. Industries must study whether customers will actually buy more products. Expanding without demand leads to losses. The second step is site and space study. Expansion may require additional land, proper access roads, and consideration of future growth. The third step is layout modification. Engineers and planners decide how to fit new machinery, new product lines, or new storage without disturbing the existing operations too much. The fourth step is utility planning. Every expansion requires additional water, electricity, steam, compressed air, and waste management facilities. Without this, production will face interruptions. The fifth step is manpower and training. Workers need to be trained for new equipment, and additional staff may be required. The sixth step is safety and hygiene adjustments. Food industries follow good manufacturing practices and HACCP standards. The expanded area must also follow these to ensure product safety. Let us look at a simple example. Before expansion, this plant had only one processing line and one packaging area. As demand grew, a second processing line was added. Packaging was doubled, and cold storage was expanded to handle higher volumes. Notice that the flow of materials remains one way, from raw material reception, to processing, to packaging, to cold storage, and finally to dispatch. This prevents contamination and maintains hygiene standards. Plant expansion comes with many challenges. Space may be limited, especially in cities. Production must often continue while construction is going on, which is difficult. Expansion requires heavy investment, which increases financial risk. Finally, regulatory approvals take time and effort. Overcoming these challenges requires careful project management. Despite the challenges, the benefits of plant expansion are clear. Capacity increases, which means more products are made. Efficiency improves, leading to faster delivery. Product variety increases, which satisfies customers. And overall, the company becomes stronger and more competitive in the marketplace. Let us consider a case example. A dairy plant producing only milk decided to expand by adding a yogurt processing line. The expansion required more cold storage, new packaging, and additional staff training. However, the result was highly positive. The company could sell yogurt, increase profits, and use its milk supply more efficiently. Similarly, a bakery plant may expand by adding frozen bakery units. This allows them to supply supermarkets with products that last longer. These examples show how expansion adds value and sustainability. To conclude, plant expansion in food industry layout is a strategic necessity. It allows industries to meet rising demand, introduce new products, and remain competitive while maintaining hygiene and safety standards. Let's see an example on mushroom farming factory expansion. In the next few minutes, we will explore how a small mushroom cultivation unit can grow into a large, well-structured commercial facility. We will look at the reasons for expansion, the layout planning process, the infrastructure required, and the technological and economic aspects that make expansion successful. Mushroom farming is one of the fastest-growing segments in the food industry, and understanding how to expand systematically is crucial for both farmers and food entrepreneurs. The concept of plant expansion. Plant expansion simply means increasing the production capacity of an existing factory or farm. In mushroom cultivation, this involves upgrading from a few sheds or rooms to a larger, well-organized facility that can meet growing consumer demand. Expansion can be done horizontally, by adding new buildings, or vertically, by modernizing and automating existing spaces. The goal is to achieve higher productivity, maintain quality, and remain competitive in the marketplace. Why expansion is needed? The demand for mushrooms has increased rapidly in recent years. Mushrooms are rich in protein, vitamins, and minerals, and they are increasingly seen as a healthy alternative to meat. Supermarkets, hotels, restaurants, and export markets are all seeking reliable suppliers. A small farm may be able to serve local markets, but to access larger contracts and export opportunities, expansion becomes essential. Expansion also allows farmers to benefit from economies of scale, meaning the cost of producing each kilogram of mushrooms goes down as production increases. Current layout of a small farm. Before expansion, a typical mushroom farm might have a single growing shed, a small composting space, and limited storage. Most operations are done manually, including watering, harvesting, and packaging. While this is manageable at the beginning, it soon becomes inefficient as demand increases. Small farms often struggle with space constraints, lack of cold storage, and inconsistent production. These limitations highlight the need for a structured expansion plan. Planning expansion. The most important stage of expansion is planning. Expansion is not simply about building bigger sheds. It requires a systematic design that ensures smooth workflow. The expanded layout must include a compost yard, spawn laboratory, multiple growing rooms, a harvesting area, a packaging and grading unit, cold storage, waste management systems, and a dispatch area. Proper planning ensures that raw materials, workers, and products move efficiently through the facility without contamination or bottlenecks. Site selection and infrastructure. Choosing the right site for expansion is critical. The site should have easy access to roads and markets, reliable water and electricity supply, and sufficient space for future growth. Water quality must be good because mushrooms require clean water for misting and irrigation. The infrastructure should also allow for proper drainage and waste disposal. Composting yard. The composting yard is the foundation of mushroom farming. Good compost leads to healthy mushroom crops. In an expanded facility, the compost yard is larger, mechanized, and better organized. Machines may be used for mixing raw materials like straw, poultry manure, and gypsum. A dedicated composting area ensures that the process is hygienic, consistent, and able to support large-scale production. Spawn production laboratory. A key part of expansion is setting up a spawn production laboratory. Spawn is the seed of mushrooms, and without high-quality spawn, production will be unreliable. Many small farmers depend on external suppliers, but in an expanded facility, producing spawn in-house ensures self-sufficiency and better control over quality. The laboratory requires sterile equipment, laminar airflow units, petri dishes, and train. Growing rooms. The growing rooms are the heart of the factory. Expansion usually means building multiple climate-controlled rooms with shelves or racks to maximize space. Temperature, humidity, and carbon dioxide levels must be carefully monitored. Automated misting systems keep the growing environment consistent. These improvements allow for continuous production cycles and higher yields. Automation and technology. In modern expansion projects, automation plays a vital role. Automated irrigation systems, humidity sensors, and even artificial intelligence tools can be used to optimize conditions. These technologies reduce labor costs, minimize human error, and improve overall productivity. With IoT devices, farmers can monitor conditions remotely and make data-driven decisions. Harvesting and packaging. As production increases, harvesting and packaging must also expand. Mushrooms are delicate, and they need to be harvested carefully and quickly transported to the packaging unit. In an expanded facility, mushrooms are cleaned, graded, and packed in hygienic conditions. Packaging adds value by ensuring mushrooms reach the market in good condition, labeled and ready for sale. Cold storage. One of the most important additions in expansion is cold storage. Mushrooms are highly perishable and can spoil within a day if not stored properly. Waste management. Expansion must also address waste management. Mushroom farming produces spent compost, which can be recycled as organic manure or soil conditioner. Instead of being treated as waste, this byproduct can become an additional source of income. Sustainable waste management reduces the environmental impact and improves the image of the farm as an eco-friendly business. Quality control and safety. A quality control laboratory ensures that mushrooms are safe and free from contaminants. Following good manufacturing practices and HACCP guidelines is necessary for food safety certification. Workers must use protective clothing, gloves, and masks to maintain hygiene. Expansion should also include training for staff in safety and sanitation practices. Market expansion. With higher production capacity, the farm can supply supermarkets, hotels, and restaurants on a regular basis. It can also explore export markets, where demand for fresh and dried mushrooms is growing. Entering new markets not only increases revenue but also strengthens the reputation of the farm as a reliable supplier. Financial aspects of expansion. Expanding a mushroom farming facility requires investment in land, buildings, machinery, and technology. While the initial cost is high, the return on investment is attractive because of the strong demand. Government subsidies, bank loans, and cooperative funding options may also be available to support expansion projects. Conclusion. In conclusion, mushroom farming factory expansion is not just about building bigger facilities. It is about creating an efficient, hygienic, and sustainable system that meets growing market demand. From compost preparation and spawn production to climate-controlled growing rooms, packaging, and cold storage, every step contributes to success. Expansion brings opportunities for higher profits, better food safety, sustainability, and rural employ. With careful planning and modern technology, mushroom farms can evolve into thriving food industry units that support both farmers and consumers. Thank you for joining this session on mushroom farming factory expansion.
சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க அந்த பெல்லுங்கிற பட்டன் இருக்கும் உங்க பொண்ணான கையால அந்த பெல்லை மட்டும் கொஞ்சம் அமுக்கிடுங்க